I'll go on to just mention about how do you actually be successful in an MMI. Now, as Dr. Anand just said earlier, the few of you all here in this group will be year 13s, and I'm sure that most of you all have got an interview invite already. Now, the fact that you have got to this phase itself is a big achievement. I would probably say you are almost about 80% there, and the universities who have shortlisted you actually are very interested and keen in you. All you need to do when your interview day is just be yourself and show who you are. They already know something about you, and now all they want you to do is to demonstrate what you already got. So all I'm trying to tell you is be yourself on the day. It's difficult, I know, it's quite stressful, but try and be as calm as you can. Try, if you can, be as relaxed as you can. Try and smile when you go in, because if the examiner sees the candidate who's coming in is looking stressed out and grumpy, and he's also going to look a bit grumpy. So a bit of a smile, walking in and saying hello. You're allowed to shake the examiner's hands, but at the same time, please do not be over friendly. Yeah. So being as relaxed as you can is very, very important. Okay. Now, the next thing I was going to say to you all is, when it comes to the questions, it's absolutely important that you understand the question. And if you don't understand the question, read again or ask again. The one thing which will really mark you down is if you do not answer the question. Read it again and make sure you are answering the question specifically. Do not hesitate to ask the examiner to repeat the question if you do not understand the question. So that's quite important, yeah, because going along or digressing from the topic will annoy the examiners, okay? So the next point I was going to mention is, we like candidates who are open-minded. We don't like candidates who are rigid in their thoughts. We want you to speak in a balanced manner. That means the good and bad, the good and bad. You know, we don't like people who are very fixed in certain ideas. So try and make sure that you are always open with your opinions, your thoughts. You are at the end allowed to say, this is what I think it should be done, but don't take sides. And we want a balanced speaker, somebody who is able to look at things widely, and that is what really they're looking for. The other thing they are also looking for is, they want to know whether a candidate is safe. They want to know whether a candidate can be trained. And remember, you are not a medical student. You are still a high school student or a college student. So you're not expected to know very detailed stuff. All you want to do and assess you is the quality you have in you. Are you a team leader? Are you, do you communicate well? Are you caring? And that's all they are testing you in MMIs. So just be very clear on that be yourself and show whom you are, okay? Another point which I'd like to add on is how important it is to structure your answers. So when you're given the 2 minutes, when you're preparing your answers, formulate your thoughts and have a structure to how you want to present your answer, because structuring your answer well will give you a score between a score of 2 or a score of 4 and 5. So structuring, having a proper thought flow in the way you present your answers is very important. Like everything, you know, structuring your essays in the same way, structuring your answers is quite important. So I'll move on to the next point, which we look for is, this is a point where the examiners really like, is the ability for you to reflect on your experience. You must remember the examiners are bored. They are bored, sat all day listening to the same candidates. They're saying the same things again and again and again. So if you can come up there and tell them a story and say how you dealt with a certain case you saw or you experienced, that will twerk up their ears and say, oh, this is interesting. So they look up and they want to listen to your story. So a bit of, I mean, there's a bit of a psychological impact to this, that you've got to make your story attractive an interesting, attractive story. Don't cook it up. Just say your story, your experience. That will attract the examiner, and you're more likely to score better marks. And just remember, one last word is, remember, the examiners are not there to mark you down. They are there to help you if ever they also equally want you to succeed. So don't look at it as if someone is trying to trick you. Just be there and look at the question at face value. No one is out there to get you. And if you read and answer the question as they want it, you will succeed very well. And one final point is, if you're really messed up a station, forget about it, move on, and focus on the new question, and don't regret about the other one. So with that, I'll finish off, and I'm just wishing all of you the best of luck in your coming exams, and I'll hand it over back to Dr. Lilianan.
Thank you, Kumar. That was very practical and useful tips to everyone. I'm sure people would have found it helpful. Now I call upon our last speaker for today, Abhishek, who's a medical student and well experienced in tutoring over the last 4 years. Over to you, Abhi.
Hi, I hope you can all hear me. My name's Abhishek Subramaniam, and I'm a third-year medical student at the University of Plymouth. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the organisers for organising this event, and thank you all for spending your Sunday evening here. This in itself shows you're dedicated and motivated to actually wanting to be a medical student. And thank you so much for allowing me to speak today. So I've actually been in all of your shoes before and have attended one of the first events which was organised. So having been training people for the last couple of years, things which occur to me is that whenever someone faces a question, you might find it tough, but remember that you do know the answer. And you don't necessarily have to know how to answer it, but it's your thoughts and how you approach it. Always try to link it back to your personal experience and try and reflect upon any past experiences and see why it's relevant. You may want to try and assess what kind of qualities they're testing for, why is this relevant, and what qualities of a good doctor are they looking at. I would like to say reflection is a very key quality because it's showing that you're taking the opportunity to learn. And today, when you face a question, take your time before you answer it, because structure is everything. Remember, when you answer questions, the interview is already starting to assess you from the minute you've sat down. So stay positive, have a good body posture, and remain calm. And we all know that you know the answers, so take your time to answer it. There's no rush, and show the interviewers that you actually deserve to be coming to this school, because they know that you should be coming there. All you have to do is prove it to them. So I wish you all the very best in your medical application journey, and I'd just like to thank you all for coming today.
Can I call Saujanya to come and give her 1 minute feedback, please?
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Saujanya. I just want to say well done today. You guys did really well today. Just a quick feedback, I would say is to structure your answer well. Take a minute, like a breath, to think about your question and come up with a good structure when you're going to answer your question, because it's important to not get muddled up with different points and like highlighting 2 points and then round it off well, to give you a really good strong answer. But that's it with me. Thank you very much, and well done everyone. My best wishes to all of you. Well done.
Thank you, Saujanya. Next I call upon Dr. Kumar Marimuthu.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that the cohort I had was a very good set of students, very high standards shown by all the candidates I had interviewed. So all I can say to you guys is just carry on with the good work you all are doing. As I told you all earlier, be yourself. I think you all are really performing at a very, very high level, and just do what you can do. Enjoy the session. Don't get too worked up, and go out there, sell yourself, show what you've got. And there's one thing I want to say is reflect on all your experiences and your work placements, and that's really all you all need to do. And good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Kumar. Shraddha?
I just want to say well done to everyone that I interviewed. You all did an amazing job. I think one bit of advice would be have a look at the GMC guidelines and what they state. I had a question about how like situations where GMC guidance might have to be, like you might have to not follow GMC guidance. And it's important to have a good look at that document beforehand to know what it's about. But yeah, well done.
Thank you. Sham?
Yeah, again, good job. I think everyone was very articulate. So I was really impressed by some of the knowledge of some of the students, especially regarding like GMC guidelines and stuff. One thing I would say is anyone who had the interview with me would have known there was a picture question where I asked people to describe a picture. So yeah, just don't, if you do get a question which just throws you off, which is unexpected. I think a couple of students did this. They said, can I just take a minute and I'll think about it and think about how you're going to answer, and try and introduce it and give a sort of general overview first before sort of jumping into the picture, because there can be a lot going on. There can be so many details and very confusing. So yeah, make that clear first before you sort of start explaining things. Yeah, I think that will be my sort of general feedback in terms of picture questions or questions that are a bit, a bit weird and different.
Okay, thank you, Sham. Parisa?
Hi, so yeah, everyone that I saw today as well was really impressive with the way that they answered the questions. So well done to you guys. The things I would say is the stations are sort of your stations, so don't worry about filling the time completely. Don't panic about it. Take, like Sham said, take the time that you need to organize your thoughts and produce like a clear, structured answer where you're not kind of going in circles. At the end of the day, like they're there to kind of see what you think and how your mind is processing things, rather than having like a specific correct answer. So don't worry about completely filling the time, and just kind of take things slow and make things nice and clear for the examiner. But yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
Meera?
you.
Hi everyone, so well done for coming today. I had a question on what your biggest weakness is, and I think my advice to you would be don't be scared to say what your biggest weakness is. They're not looking for perfect people, they just want to see that you're aware that you make mistakes and how you reflect on it and how you don't do it in the future. So that's what I've got to say, but well done guys and good luck for the future.
Thank you. Abirami?
Hi everyone. So again, just echoing what everyone said, the people that I interviewed really well answered responses, and they hit all the points that I would expect to be hitting, so really well done. In terms of advice, I'll just say don't ramble, get to the point, and because sometimes there are follow-up questions, and follow-up questions aren't necessarily bad. Sometimes it's quite good to get follow-up questions because you can show off more of your skills and abilities to the examiner. So once you've got to the point, just stop, and they probably will have a follow-up question, or if they've seen enough, then you'll just finish. I had a few candidates that did just kept on going and they didn't need to. And another thing was just to slow down, take your time when you're speaking. Sometimes just like jot down what you're going to say first before saying it. And yeah, but really well done to everyone, and good luck.
Thank you. Ishika?
Yeah, I just want to say that all the students that I saw had really, really good answers. They were all really impressive. And I think that the two main things I would say is that when looking at questions say a data interpretation one, have a list of how you want to approach the question, and it will just make everything a lot easier when it actually comes down to answering it. Have a list of all the things you want to tick off when you're answering it. And also reference important things. So the answers that really stood out are the ones that my students talked about, NHS statistics, things that were relevant, and also NHS constitution, NHS rules, GMC guidelines, and ethical pillars as well. But yeah, good luck to everyone.
Thank you. Abhishek?
Hi guys. So everyone did really well in my stations. It was clear that you've all prepared and you have high level answers. When I was asking questions on ethics, remember to have a clear structure because you can easily get lost by the question. So remember to include definitions, 4 pillars is very important, and also equal amount of pros and against, so that you don't come across as one-sided. So good luck to everyone. You're all going to do absolutely fine, and best luck in the future.
Tij?
Hi guys, first off, well done to everyone for turning up, getting a bit more practice under your belts. Personally, I think that I would have liked to see a bit more kind of authenticness in terms of the anecdotes that people gave to emphasize some of their points. Add a bit more emotion, and don't be afraid to describe a certain scenario and how you felt in a certain situation, maybe when it's talking about your biggest strength, your biggest weakness, how your friends describe you. Don't be afraid to add a bit more emotion in there, because that's what examiners are looking for. It's something a little bit different, something unique to you. So don't be afraid to do that, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Harini?
Yeah, I mean, again, well done, everyone. I was really impressed by the quality of the answers that I've heard today. One thing I would say for questions that have like some key terms, or say if they're asking you to choose between 2 things, I would say try and define the terms just as a it allows you to think through your answers beforehand, and it also allows you to give the examiner the impression that you know what you're talking about and you know what you're going to then go on to discuss. But other than that, really well done and good luck, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. I'm sure you would have found this, a practical tip useful, and hope good luck for everyone, for all the students who are doing the interviews in the next few weeks. Even if you don't not successful, don't worry. There are always other options which we can discuss about later on. So thank you once again.